Hey, hey. My auntie, she used to say that when we were little. I think I learned later that it came from like Fat Albert or something. You know, that cartoon was before my time. Um, but anyway, had a very interesting day today. I woke up kind of feeling, but I had my answers. That's what you do when you get in alignment. No matter how you feel in your body, you have your answers and you know how to move in order to move that back into alignment. And that's what's important. So, interesting today. Like I said, I moved out of alignment because I was a little bit struggling with how to tell someone something. Not because of them, but because of me and my own little anxieties. Stories that I tell myself in my head. But the important thing is that I'm now aware of the stories that I tell myself in my head, and now I can sit with those thoughts that come up during those times of anxiety and be able to, reassure myself and let myself know that it's all good. Whatever it is, it's going to handle itself. And I appreciate being in this space. So this morning I got up. I was a little off, and I'm home now. I made it safely. I don't know if I said so, but I did. And so one of my friends that lived right down the street from where I am, he often likes to walk. And I asked him this morning, was he up for walking? And he's like, he hadn't been walking since the weather changed. And I was like, okay. I said, well, I just gotta, woke up this morning and was a little bit out of alignment, I said. And my little guide voice, that's what I like to call it. Guide, not God, but guide. I kind of feel like that word originally started out as guide, but kind of got turned into God. But my guide voice told me, go walk. And it's cold outside, y'all. It's not like snow cold, but it's like the dew is frozen on the ground in the morning cold. The sun is shining right now, so it's beginning to warm up. But this was before the sun, obviously. I've had a whole day today already. So the voice said, go walk. So I got myself together, and I was deliberate, because sometimes I'm rushing to go walk because I'm rushing to get to, whatever. I love doing my walking talks. So I'm anxious to see what my guys have to tell me and what my ancestors have to share with me on my walks. But this particular time, I was just instantly aware that I do that I rush into my walking talks because I want to hurry up. And that makes them happy that I am eager to get to them and talk to them. And also they want me to know that I should take that energy and channeling it into being more deliberate about getting to that place. Which means in the nicest words, slow down, child. Okay, we'll be here when you get here. We want you to have everything together there first. Here, right here. Rushing into the future, you're not taking care of things right here. Message. So anyway, yeah, so then I losing track of thoughts. Okay, so then I was like more deliberate about getting everything I needed together and dressing myself appropriately for the weather. And I wasn't thinking about any of this. I was just thinking about, where my jacket, where my this, where my keys, But I slowed down and I was like, okay, what will I need? Oh yeah, there's something I have to mail off. Let me get that stuff together so once I'm done walking, I can do that after. Okay, these are the things that happen when you're more deliberate, and you can slow down and halt making mistakes and having accidents when you are so deliberate in that way. So anyway, as I'm walking, I'm saying anyway a lot because I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I have beautiful things to share. We have beautiful things to share. The message, I was talking about, you know, everything I had to get in my day. I know when I go on my walk and talks, I have to get all of that mundane, everyday stuff, you know, out of the way first. So we'll talk about that. And then we'll talk about some other things that might pop up as I'm thinking about that. It may be deeper stuff, it may be less stuff. But I know that near the end of the walk, I kind of like, okay, don't forget my girls. I have to, you know, share something with them today that I've learned on my journey. And this is where I ask my ancestors to bring into my consciousness a theme of something that I've learned, because I don't always recognize the theme, but I know I just experienced a shift in my life and suddenly I'm drawn to heal something, but I don't always know what it is. And it does have a theme, an underlying theme. I am just so thankful that I am in alignment with many of my spiritual gifts, and I'm still coming in alignment with others, and that I am able to use them to be able to see the direction in which I am supposed to go. And the message that came to me when I was talking, you know, I was like, I gotta have something for my girls. And they said to me, get out of your own way. And with that, they began to attach the images of books that have helped me specifically, and the things that have helped me specifically to get out of my own way. I'm sharing this so that you will have this as a basis for how you can discover how you can get out of your own way. Not to say that my way will work for you. However, it was very helpful for me. It is very helpful to me, and it will continue to be very helpful to me. I have this gift that I just simply call literary divination. I don't know exactly, like, there's no lot of work, you know, there's not a lot of work and stuff in this area of spiritual gifts and things like that. But I do have this spiritual gift that I just came to call literary divination. And literary divination is basically you have the ability to decode books and messages and things like that, particularly within books and texts. And books speak to you. They literally speak to you. Like you are walking through the store and a book says, hey, over here. Okay. And it says, you know, you going through it, you hear the books talking to you. This is how I came to find several of the books on my spiritual journey. I know I've kind of gone off on a tangent to my message. However, this is important to the message. When I first started my spiritual journey back in 2012, I had no clue. 2012, 2013, I had no clue where to look. This is not something I had been taught in my culture. This was dreams I was now having. This was voices I was now hearing. These were thoughts. I'm like, what is going on? That you know, that was awakening me to this other world that I had been blind to. They're in front of my face the whole time, right? But I had been blind to it. And the way that spirit spoke through to me was through books. Giving me a message, breadcrumbs, like you're right, you're in the right direction. Let me affirm you. Let me confirm you, you know. And oftentimes I would just be strolling through thrift stores. A huge collection of my spiritual books came from thrift stores, from books, from walking through thrift stores and books speaking to me. And many of the books that I am going to show you today, all of them actually, Yes, all of them came from the thrift store. And I began to know like what particular thrift stores I could go to find these books, because of the energy of the area and things like that. Yes, I am a what do they call it? Clairsentient, and it's something I want to talk to y'all about, clairsentience, because if you have that gift, I want you to know it early so you don't be driving yourself crazy. So anyway, the message was get out of your own way, and all of, like I said, all of these ideas, messages from my experiences, and also from the books, the specific books that have helped me on my journey, came into connection with that get out of your own way thought. And I wanted to share those with you right now. So when it comes to getting out of your own way, my ancestors once said to me, we are always with you. However, we cannot prevent you from making dumb decisions. So while your ancestors and your guides can speak to you, they merely have so much power, because what comes into play after that is your own willpower, your desire to follow what it is that they are asking you to do once you place your question with them. And when you're placing your question, this is how they gave it to me when I first started on my journey, because they give me visions, particularly from movies, that I love, because I'm not a movie person, but there are certain movies that I just gravitate towards, and they are in my brain, and the ancestors and guides speak to me through those movies. So when they gave me the question, like how I have to form my question and ask my questions, they made me know that you cannot ask your question any kind of way. You have to ask your question in a way that is best for you, and they can also help you form that question in a way that is best for you. So first, ask to have that question formed in a way that is best for you. Just ask the question at first, and then say, hey, let us, before you're asking for an answer, ask to have it formed, or to confirm that is the proper form. So they gave me the movie I, Robot, and I'm just doing this video. I didn't do any research before this video. I'm just doing it off the top of my head. But it gave me I, Robot when Will Smith, was trying to solve the problem of what happened to the doctor. And when Will Smith would ask certain questions, he would basically tell him, I'm sorry, you have to ask the question in a different way. I don't remember the exact words, but when Will Smith would ask the question in the right way, he would say, that, sir, is the right question, and he wouldn't give him the answer, right? However, now Will Smith knew where to go. He knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? Because my guys often answer me with a question. You know how people say you can't answer a question with a question. Yes, you can. Because if you ask a question in a right, proper way, that answer is going to be instant, because you already know, and you already have the answer. So without further ado, let's get into these books. Okay. So, for me, I'm going to wait, before we get into these books, I want to tell you, for me, coming into a place of getting out of my own way, understanding myself at an energetic and a cellular level, really, like at a frequency level, really helped me to get out of my own way, because that is not something we're taught per se. Thinking of your cells in combination with your frequency and how you vibrate. Have you ever been taught anything like that? No. I only know things like this from the downloads that I receive. However, our frequency is in like the cell, it's in every single cell. You want to love every single cell of your body as best as you possibly can. And you want to bring your thought to each of those cells as best as you possibly can. And that is how you're going to get out of your own way, when you get to know your body at a cellular level, and understanding that these are pieces to a whole part. They are individually operating pieces. This is how you begin to understand yourself and get out of your own way. So now let's get into these books. Emotional Freedom. This is a practical text, and it may take you more than a year. Okay, it may take you over a year to get through this entire book, simply because it's very practical, and it's going to be groundbreaking for you emotionally. It's emotional freedom, and it's going to be so powerful for your journey. Let me tell you, do not postpone getting this book and going through this for yourself. It's going to be a slow process. I'm not done with it. Let me tell you, I'm not done with it. I'm not done with it. You will have to pause often. This is a book that called to me in a thrift store when I was ready for it. When I was ready for it. I'm giving it to you now. Okay? I'm giving it to you now, so you can get started. You know what I'm saying? So you can place that energy in your space. I had to come into that space. For you have the power to now pull things into your space. Okay? Because the work is being done, and lots of work have been done. And this part is going to be easy. Okay? If you are just willpower. Okay? Commit yourself to your own healing. Another book that really helped transform my journey, that I have returned to at every shift in my journey. Okay, this is good reference material. Look how short it is. It's something that you can carry on your person, or, you know, if you're a digital person. I tend to like books. I tend to connect with books more, because this is how the ancestors speak to me. Okay, they don't usually speak to me through digital books. My guides, it's usually these type of books, and because I have to be, I don't know what it is about the energy of the words and stuff, but they all have an energy. What does that say, y'all? Get out of your own way. This was me. Because when they give me stuff, it's not mine. I say it's not mine, so it'll leave me. So I have to quickly jot something down. I always have to have a notebook, a notepad, or something. And I've started using my audio recorder as well. Although electronics, when I'm in my spiritual channeling thing and I'm trying to get a message out quickly, I have to like slow myself down, because the anxiety of hurrying up and unlocking the phone and opening the app and recording it, you know, pushes the thought out. So I have to practice with slowing that down a little bit more. But yeah, y'all see, I'm taking notes in here and everything. And like I said, different colors and things along, like, where was I in my journey? You know, I saw this thing stood out to me, you know, at different points, because that's another thing that I use, color coding. So like at, you know, one shift in my journey, I'm using a pink highlighter if I'm highlighting in a book. At another shift in my journey, if I revisit a text, I'll use a different highlighter. Sometimes I don't even know what highlighter I use, but when I open up the book, I'll see, okay, last time I used pink, so let me use green this time. And I do that. That helps me a lot when I'm processing, okay, what part of my journey was I in when this was significant to me. And I'm so glad that I did that, because that puts me in a place to now assist others in helping their journeys, because I've left breadcrumbs and bookmarks, and I'm just so good at this beginner's guiding thing. And I question myself a lot about that, you know. And I'm so glad that I can now see that my disorganized chaos, so organized though, you know, it had a purpose. So yeah, how to heal toxic thoughts. Simple tools for personal transformation by Sandra Ingerman. Okay. Yes, this is a book you're going to reference often on your journey. Okay. Another book that came to me that I reference, this is also a reference book for me, but it explains a lot. I'm going to just read some of the chapters out for you, just so you can get an idea, because this book isn't like all that easy to digest. However, if you're on an emotional healing journey, if you're on a journey of getting out of your own way, a practical journey of getting out of your own way, where you are first recognizing that you are in your own way, you will be able to digest this book like better and better and more easily. Things will be able to naturally make sense for you. So this book is called Power versus Force: The Hidden Determinants of Human Behavior. And so I'm going to read this. It's in parts and chapters. So it says part 1, tools, critical advances in knowledge, history, and methodology, test results, interpretation. So those are the first 3 chapters of the first part. So in the second part, they have power patterns in human attitudes, power in politics, power in the marketplace. And that's in work, part 2, that is work. And then there's part 3, meaning, the database of consciousness, the evolution of consciousness, the study of pure consciousness. And I'm going to read to you chapter 22, spiritual struggle. I adore this book because it ties in our practical experience, our practical knowledge, with the, with the spiritual journey we are now on. It's like understanding the world you live in as another part of your own spiritual world and not separate, and this is how that goes together. And like I said, as you continue to progress on your journey, you will see that more and more, and you will be more and more receptive of this book, because some of the, when you read it, you're going to be like, oh, what? Okay. And you will see it. It covers things like grief, progression of consciousness, reason, love, courage. Okay. And I have such a special story about courage, that I can share with y'all. But right now, another message that they gave me, I know I'm saying a lot because I'm trying to hear and talk at the same time. So when I say it's like they're trying to get me to say something else. So another thing that they wanted me to say, and they wanted me to because this is an idea that I have carried in my mind. And I'm sure that I learned it through conditioning. More stiff is not more stable. More stiff is not more stable. And the vision or the ideas that they're giving me right now in terms of that is, I was just doing something, and I said, oh, that one was more stable, and they quickly said more stiff. And I was like, oh, you're right. It wasn't more stable. It was falling too. But it was just more stiff. It was less pliable. I couldn't maneuver it to make it do what I wanted to do. But the one that was less stiff was actually the more stabler thing, because I'm like, you know, propping my camera up on stuff. So basically, yes, they wanted me to share that more stiff is not more stable. So even if you're, you know, the idea that they gave me, the message that they're giving me is a sports player, like for example, or someone who maybe lift weights and just works out at the gym, versus a person who practices, you know, the yoga. Basically, they're saying that a person who lifts weight and a person who does yoga may have relatively the same strength. However, a person who does yoga, their body is more stable. They're less stiff, but more stable. Like they're more pliable because of the yoga that they do and stretching. But that also makes them more stable. And whereas the person who just lifts weights or goes to the gym is more stiff, but not necessarily more stable, based on just that practice of lifting weights and going to the gym. Okay, y'all, that's it. Y'all, my heart chakra vibrating so hard right now. I have wanted to say these things for a while. I just didn't know how to say them. And here I am now saying them and being very proud of myself for being able to say that. Yes, I hope that you get beautiful, beautiful things from this message today. I had a glorious time sharing them. Oh, and there's one more book I wanted to share. Right Key for Emotional Healing. Now, I wouldn't particularly recommend this book because it doesn't have enough brown people in it for me. And I definitely wanted to write the writer and let her know that this is a great book. However, she should include more people of color. And we should be able to visually see that, you know. Now, oh, they are people of color. They don't look like it. Okay. But maybe, you know, that was what she could do for her budget. I don't know. That is what she had access to. I don't want to make excuses for people. I just want to write her and let her know that she should. But this is a good book. Pick this up in the thrift store too. So, you know, sometimes when you do pick up things in the thrift store, yeah, you will get a lot of non-people of color in there. But, you know, with the money that I've saved on learning in my spiritual journey and being able to pick up these books that have helped me, I have been able to learn a lot and invest those cheap, free books, that knowledge I received, into purchasing more intentional purchases with Black writers, which I am so very proud of. Being able to support those writers. Yes, and I'll do another video to share some of those writers and some of those books with y'all as well. It's been wonderful, y'all. It's been beautiful. If you love this video, subscribe, okay? Hit the ding, 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 ding bell. Let me know y'all love it so I can make more videos like this. I'm probably going to make more anyway because it just felt so magical to make this video. So thank y'all so much for being here with me all of these roughly 30 minutes. I'm looking forward to an extravagant birthday. My birthday is January 17th, okay? So if you're feeling so moved and you love this video so much, please send me some cash. Okay, my cash app. I love y'all. Take care. I really do. I really, really do. I'm looking for this.